I see EMS stretchers lining down the block. It's jam-packed waiting room filled with 30 to 40 patients next to each other, coughing, giving COVID-19 to one another. There is physically no more room in the emergency room. You bring any more patients in, then you cannot walk. We had a few patients die in the emergency room because the hospital's full.
All I'm seeing are people who are vulnerable, people who are weak, people who are scared. And I'm not gonna lie, it's making me scared.
You hear about people dying and suffering from it, but it's a whole nother thing to see this stuff up close.
The proportion of patients that are critically ill, younger, people that look just like us, and older, it's overwhelming. The morgues are already getting overwhelmed.
It just feels like you're standing on the shore looking at a tsunami, and the federal government is offering you a life preserver.
If you get x-rays every few hours on these patients, you tend to see them get worse in real time. You can actually see those cloudy patches increase over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. I saw a gentleman in his 70s. He looked really well. When I came back the following day to check his chart, he had passed away within the 24-hour period of time.
They're talking to me like I am talking to you, and then a few hours later they go into sudden respiratory arrest. They stop breathing, and they need to be intubated. And this is one of the most dramatic things that I've ever seen.
So let's think about this. The building is on fire. We're all firefighters inside trying to put out this fire, but we're naked, right? Because they didn't protect us. You can see the PPE of other countries, chemical suits, and we are wearing trash bags.
I was told that if I had to intubate anyone, I would be using a sheet protector with 2 industrial-sized paper clips and clipping that to my goggles that we were given.
Did you feel safe wearing that?
Absolutely not. We feel like guidelines are changing not because science recommends they change, but because we just need people and we need warm bodies in the ER.
This is very distressing to me because I don't know if this is going to be the next shift that I go in and I get the virus.
There's nothing that differentiates any of us from the people who become devastatingly sick. And that is, that's scary. I thought I was just out of shape and totally tired from the anxiety of everything that had been going on so quickly. And then I started getting a cough. I was COVID positive. There's a sense of anxiety around the idea that, oh my God, this is positive, and knowing that the disease course is unpredictable.
One of my colleagues had the disease, and we found out that he passed away a week from yesterday, so that's been difficult, and that made it all seem too real.
Everyone's talked about their contingency plans if they did get sick. We've talked about who gets our pets, which is somewhat of an easier discussion than who gets your children.
If all of us are calling out sick, there are no more doctors left. There are no more nurses left. I intubated a nurse the other day from COVID-19.
We're going to be faced with this decision of, we've got 2 patients that need to go on a ventilator or they'll die. We have 1 ventilator. Which one's going on the ventilator?
The idea of splitting a ventilator is a little contentious right now. If you split 1 ventilator for 2 people, you've now taken a tool that gives someone optimal chances of survival and taken that and split that in half. So now 2 people have suboptimal chances of survival. Are you going to put both of those people on that suboptimal tool, risking both of them, or are you going to choose?
I definitely did not go into the practice of medicine to play God, and nor do I want to. I just want to treat people as best I can and take care of as many as I can.
How are they going to live with the guilt after all of this, knowing that if they'd had an equipment that could have saved somebody's life, they would have used it, but because they didn't, they watched somebody die, and they chose person A over person B.
There was one of my colleagues told me this amazing story where he was talking to a patient who was infected. He's talking to this patient and saying, look, if this escalates quickly, would you want a breathing tube? Would you want to be on life support? And the patient said, absolutely, I would want that. And then the patient paused and said, but if someone else needs it, give it to them. The intensive care unit is a busy place pre-COVID. What's different now is that we don't have any visitors in the whole hospital.
The worst part about COVID-19 is that patients die alone without their families by their side. Just imagine that you're dying alone and you're not able to say goodbye one last time to your parent, grandparent, son, daughter, friend, or really anybody you care about.
I seriously starting to think that this is really starting to take a toll on me. Between seeing people die and like having to work 12, 13, 14-hour shifts, it's like really taking a toll on me now.
People are getting tired and worn out, and unfortunately this is just the very, very start of this thing.
I am in a lot of moral distress because I'm not able to help patients the way that I'm accustomed to. I'm simply just trying to mentally stay well enough to take care of them and keep them alive. So that has been a very great moral dilemma for me.
I know it's just a matter of time before I hear that one of my good friends has passed away because of this, because they were working on the front lines. And that's what terrifies me.
And now we've all kind of resigned ourselves to this is what we do.